All right, everyone. So today's the day that I get to meet my therapist for the first time. It's been like a year and a half, and we've been doing our sessions on Zoom. But today is the day that I get to meet her in person. So I'm going to her office to do an episode, and I am nervous. I'm excited, all the above. But right now, I am currently at Town Fair Tires because I woke up with a flat. And not just a flat that can be repaired, a flat on the floor. You know how the devil be trying to just stop success? He tries to stop you from telling your testimony, telling your story. When he sees you doing good, he tries to block your blessings. And he's not going to win because the episode's still going to get done. And he thought this was going to stop me from sharing my testimony, and it's not. And it's just crazy because yesterday I had text my best friend and I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, is this crazy? She's like, girl, you don't grow being comfortable. And I said, you are absolutely right. And last night when I was reading the word, and I'm just like, God, let me know if this is what you want me to do. Just reassurance that this is what is about to happen. And in the passage I was reading, it said literally what my best friend said. The passage literally said the level to which you allow God to make you uncomfortable is the level to which you allow God to bring growth in your life. And I just bawled. I started crying because I'm like, what other sign do I need? Like, my best friend literally sent that text to me, not even knowing that I was going to read that passage today. And it was just like, wow, God, I hear you. And I'm just so glad that I did not allow the enemy to stop me from sharing my story, stop me from making this podcast, because when he sees you doing work for the Lord, when he sees that you're on the road to success, when he sees that you're trying to change and do things for your life, he's going to throw any and everything to stop you from doing what you're supposed to do, and to bring you back into depression and bring you back down that dark road that you were before. But you got to know that God works harder, and you have to put the work in too, to trust and believe that the lies that the enemy has told you, and the darkness that he wants you to be, is not the place that God wants you to be. He wants you to be great. He wants you to shine. And so I'm excited. I'm currently on the side of Town Fair Tire now, and I don't care because my story's gonna be told, and God's gonna get the glory out of this. And this is something for all of you, because the devil works, but God works harder, and you guys gotta know that. So you're in for a treat. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you real soon. Welcome to another episode of the Sisters Podcast. This is, I'm not gonna say crazy, but this is a little crazy.
Yes, it is.
I have my therapist, Bianca, here with me.
Hello.
Such a special person. I'm so happy and honored that she is here with me. So Bianca, thank you. This is, we're about to tap into some things. We're going to tap into some work that we have been putting in over the past year and a half. Believe it or not, this is our first time meeting in person, which is crazy. First time meeting in person, first time here in office. I'm usually on Zoom, but for this episode, I had to be here today. So Bianca, thank you for agreeing to do this with me.
Oh, no problem.
So I don't even know where to start. We have topics. But we didn't want to script what we were gonna say. We wanted to be natural. We just wanted to have an open and honest conversation. And I guess we could start how we usually start, when I ask you how you doing.
I'm doing well.
Doing well. I then would say I don't have much to talk about, and then I'm talking for 45 minutes. So there's just so much to dissect, because there was a lot of work that has been put in over the past year and a half. I can't even believe it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
I reached out to, well, I was on a website called Psychology Today, and I filtered in my, I filter in like my, not resources, but like what I wanted down. So my insurance, I wanted a black woman. So I, filtered all that in, and it popped up to a whole bunch of people in my area, and you were one of the people that were there, and it just like asked you like to put in your, what is your concerns, and like, what do you want to talk about, and you were one of the first people to get back to me, so thank you for that. And the first time we had our session, I went on a solo trip by myself. I was in Pennsylvania, and that was like the start of a refreshing turn for me to kind of get into the groove of doing the work that I wanted to do within myself. So I guess we could start with like, what are you, the what are your thoughts? Like, how do you feel that I have like changed since you've met me?
Oh goodness. It's interesting, and I love to see the start and then see how a client transforms over the years. And so, yeah, I believe in the beginning there was a few key things that you wanted to focus on, which was, kind of processing the ending of a relationship, as opposed, and also, kind of coping with, work and trying to navigate those two spaces, as well as trying to heal, trying to identify some of those lessons that you learned in that, and really self-discovery. So it's been a lot, but I've said from day one, always, it was one thing that I really noticed about you, is that you are someone that self-reflects and that you are very aware. So it wasn't like you were coming to the table not knowing. And so there were key moments where, there was aha moments, but you're very reflective in your process. And so that is something that I was able to identify right off the bat.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's interesting, because you like gracefully shaped a year and a half in a minute. So thank you for that. But yeah, definitely the top thing. I will say I am aware. There's just a lot of things that, like you said, I had to process to understand the path of like where I'm at and where I was going. And one area of that, I guess we can, talk about the ending of a relationship. Um, I was just getting out of a relationship. The last person I was with a girl, and that a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people knew that, but a lot of people didn't know that. I felt like I've hid that part of me for, I don't even want to say hide, because I'm not the type of person to like, this is who I'm with, like expose it and put it out there. But also, I'm a very private person, and then I meet someone who like is open about who they are, and makes me want to be open about who I am or who I was at the time. And then I'm like torn between wanting to be quiet and wanting to be proudly, love who I love. And it was a a, a rope that was like swinging from, what should I do? Where do I go? How do I, come together? And all in all, I feel like it was one of those things where I never wanted to put a label on myself, because that's just not how I roll. Like, whether it's um, battling depression or battling lonely, whatever the case may be, that's not what I wanted to stick, because once that sticks on you, it's like people don't know how to tear it off. And that's not what I want. I didn't want anything. I formed connections with people. And at that time, we met. It was like people always just be like, I ain't never seen you this happy. I ain't never seen you this and that. And like, yeah, all of that is true. But also there was a part of me that was just like not all in, because I'm just like, where do we go from here? How do we with the things that I have to work with, the things that you have to work with. How can we come together and, be in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was hard for me to end because, like, said it was like one of those things where it's like I thought I finally found, someone who, I can be with for some time. So, but at the end of the day, there was always something in the back of my head that was like, how if it's not adding up in my head, it's not, I can't move forward. Like, and I think even tackling that goes back to wanting to be with someone who would be with me for the rest of my life, but also my kids. My, thinking about that from the beginning, and then we going down the path of, how was your childhood, and like, and, so all the work that is needed to get to where I wanted to be. It happened in this season of me being alone. And that's so crazy because, when I broke up with her, it was you work on you, I work on me, we come back, we work together, if this is what it's supposed to be. And it didn't work out that way, and that's fine because that's not what it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
So the accepting that what's for you is for you, no matter what it is and who it is. And also, so there's some work that needs to be done. How can we get here? So I always hear or see things of like, take a year off to focus on you and see like what happens. But nobody ever talks about like how long that year is going to be. How the things that you go through in that year, how they will hit you, how you'll be lonely, how you will, you won't connect with people that you used to connect with. Like, there's just so many things. You're in a season of change that you don't realize that you are changing.
Yes.
And you can't change nobody else around you in that season because you are the one that's evolving into the next person that you're supposed to be. So thank you, because you allowed me to have a space where I can talk about some things that I need to get off my chest, embrace my new identity, and understand that, like I said, like you said, I'm aware. I know if it's, if not working, it wasn't supposed to work. I know, like, if things are not going the way it's supposed to be, that means that you should move on. Like, there's a lot of things that, needed to happen in that season, but you helped me to navigate through the things that I knew in my head, that I just needed to put out and kind of create that path.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think a lot of times people don't want to do that healing work because it could be isolating at times. I mean, as you're growing and those around you are not, or they're not on, they're just in different levels, it's like, okay. And it's easy to be like, oh, well, let me try to carry some over. Like, let me try to, come on, let me elevate just as I'm elevating. And it doesn't work like that because not everybody is on your page. Not everybody is going to move at the pace that you're moving. And so, yeah, it can be isolating and lonely in this place, even though, and sometimes we forget to celebrate. Well, I am growing, like, this is great, but it's like, well, it doesn't feel great because I'm not.
There's people around me that's not growing with me.
Yeah.
And, that's hard for me.
Yes.
Because if I'm up top, I want everybody around me to be up top with me. Like, my friends, family, whatever the case may be. Like, if I'm at this level, come on, climb with me. And I had to learn that it's not everybody's race to be at the same pace as you.
Yes.
And it took me a while to get that because you hit me with something crazy, and I was like, wow, okay. You were like, do you think you want to help people so much because you understand what it's like to be rejected or not being helped? And I'm just like, oh, okay, let's slow down. Relax. But I think it was just me having such a big heart and like not wanting to feel so high and others feeling low, just because like I just want the best for everyone. But I had to understand that I can't want it more than they do.
Exactly.
I can't change them if they don't want to change. I can't like pull them on my race and they're still, trying to figure out how to run. And like you said, the healing process in itself, they have to go through that on themselves to learn it.
Yes.
And as an older sibling, that was even harder for me because I always felt like I had this obligation to be that example, be that person that can help them to get to where they need to be, and like, no, like you got to do this. And in this season, I learned that I can't do it.
Yes. Yes.
I can't do it, and that's okay. Yes. Like, I'm not supposed to do it. Like, God had to show me himself that he is the one that will do that for them.
Yep.
And the work that I've done and the lessons that I've learned and like, the stuff that I've went through, they can see it and they can, help them get through the things that they're going through. But I had to let that load off my back and realize that God is the one and the only one that can help them get to where they need to be. So it's very freeing.
It is.
Very freeing.
It is. But it's interesting when you say being the older sibling, that is a role that's bestowed upon us. I'm the oldest too. And sometimes I consider my siblings my surrogate children because it's always when everything hits the fan, you need to talk to so-and-so and get them in line. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Right.
And it doesn't stop. As you get older, it's still, you need to. I'm like, well, these are grown people now. Right. Like, what are we doing? Right. But yeah, it's hard to sit and watch loved ones go through their own process. And even though you see it, it's like, ooh, like, I can help prevent you from bumping.
I can help prevent you from going down that street that I told you not to take that left.
Yes.
No, that's for real. Yeah. And I think even going back to just the understanding of like, so this obviously, but I was like the first one to find out that my mom and stepfather were separating. They were getting divorced. And I had this obligation that I was the one that had to bring my family back together. Yeah. Because I was the first one to find out. And, after I found out, things went, separately. So it's like, all right, so how can I keep my family together with being in college and trying to keep myself together because of the things that I'm going through while I'm at college. And for so many years, it was just being strong and being quiet and keeping things bottled up and just not really having an outlet to talk about certain things, because in the Black community, who's really talking about what they're going through? Yep. Everybody's going through something. So why are we all complaining about what we're going through? And it's like, there's a difference from complaining and there's a difference from releasing. Exactly. And I feel like we have to get out of that narrative that like, I'm fine. No, you're not. No. And it's okay. Like, I was just talking to one of my coworkers the other day. I'm like, every generation has battled something traumatic that needs to be talked about. And we all have a part of our inner child that we need to heal in order for us to grow. Yes. And it's like, how long are we going to just accept what's in front of us and not do the work that is needed to get to where we want to be? And I think us millennials, we have the opportunity to break generational curses because we're in that middle side of big bro and little bro, or big sis and little sis. And like, we saw what our parents and grandparents had to go through, and the lessons that they didn't get taught, and stuff that they didn't see that can help them to get past this hump. And we have people underneath us that we can help navigate and let them know that it's okay to not be okay. And so I'm very thankful for I say it all the time, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Billy, she was my coach, my boss when I was at Iona. She saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And so I started therapy for the first time when I was out there. And it was because of her, because she, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, serving everybody I'm supposed to be serving, kikiing, having all this type of stuff. and she saw me pouring into glasses and that I didn't have anything to pour into.
Yes.
Empty.
Yes.
And she said, I'm not watching you do this anymore. Mm-hmm. She said, bring your insurance card and we're going to find you a therapist. Literally sat down with me and found me a therapist. And and I think that's the narrative that needs to be changed too. Mm-hmm. Because when people think about therapy, they think, oh, you need to be in an institute.
Yeah,
or like
issues.
You had issues.
Yes.
Like you had real bad problems. And I'm like, no, actually, I'm just human.
Yeah.
And you need therapy too.
Yeah.
Little do you know. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we all been through something that we have to talk about. And sometimes we don't have that outlet to talk about it to. We don't know who to talk about it to with. So it's like, I probably tell people, yeah, I'm in therapy. Mm-hmm. Yep, this is how I found her. This is what you should do. And it's like, I think you have to be open to wanting to change.
Yeah.
You have to be open to wanting to heal. Absolutely. And I feel like so many times, oh, I didn't like my therapist because this or that. And like, granted, everybody ain't perfect.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. There's some people, like, you probably might have to go through a couple people to find that one. But also, they're human. Like, therapists are human. Like, they are just regular people that, are going through the same things you're going through, but at the time that you need them to be that person for you, they're that person for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta have that inner work. My Uber driver told me this other day, you gotta do that shadow work to get to the light. Yes. Like that work that people don't see you putting in to get to where you want to be. Yeah. And it's so amazing that we're on this other side now. It is.
And, a lot of people think, too, it's like, okay, I'm healed. No. Like, it comes and goes. Like, because there'll be something else that comes in. It's like, ooh, I'm triggered. Right. This stuff is coming up. What's going on? It's a constant process. It's like life. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
People just put a stamp on it. I'm healed. I'm good to go. And then something else happened, and it's like, oh, gosh, I failed. Like, I'm back where I started. No, It's just this little bump. And use what you've learned that helped you before to get you through the bump.
Right. Yeah. It's so funny you say that because I'm like, all right, I'm over my, my last relationship. I was thinking we done. Like, all right, thank you so much because we would be like twice a month. Yeah. Then we went to once a month. Yeah. And then it was around the time I started the podcast, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. Like, and I'm like, no, actually, I'm going to reach back out there. Like, I'm not. But that's so funny because it's like healing is an ongoing journey. Yes. I think we will continue to heal for the rest of our lives because we're going to continue to meet people that trigger us, that are not as healed as we are, and they're gonna come in and try to destroy or break the healing journey that we've been on. So it's like, it's definitely something that's going to always be going on. And I think instead of looking at life as a battlefield, you can look at it as a healing journey forever. Yes. I think that helps. I think that goes a long way. So it doesn't seem like, oh, gosh, I gotta keep doing this, but no, I want to do this. Like, let's get this done because, it, like, I think, from the jump, it was, I didn't want to live in the past anymore. I didn't want to have this fear of people pleasing and living my life for others and like trying to do everything that people wanted me to do and. Because, like I said, I'm so, whatever you need, I got you, like this, that. And it's like, I didn't want to be that person no more. I wanted to let all that go. And I think, even when I started the podcast, I'm not where I was in the beginning of the year. No. I'm not where I was in the beginning of the year. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that I didn't just stop with or settle with, I'm healed. Yeah. Or settled with, I got my answer, I'm good. Because the more time that I spent with myself, the more I got to know myself.
Exactly.
The more I got to accept the past, and um, even just someone had asked, if there's one thing you would change, like what would you change? And I gave them an answer.
Mm-hmm.
This was this past summer. I gave them an answer, and now I'm at the point where nothing. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything, because everything that I went through, it led me to right here, and I would not be here if I didn't go through all those things.
No. Yeah.
So it's so crazy, because it's like I'm so thankful. I'm so at a point where I'm like, I'm just happy to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that the rain stopped and I can see the sun now. Like, it's so, there's so many small things that I'm just happy about life. There's so many people that I've lost that like literally can't see this day, and like it's like, why am I harping on the past when I have another day of life?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how hard it is, no matter how long I spent at Pep Boys and then Town Fair Tire this morning because my flat was happening. And you just, when you get to this point, you just laugh at the devil. Like,
yes.
You got to try a little bit harder. Yes. You don't. Like, you really don't.
Please don't. But
like, also, like, you thought you had me.
Yeah.
And I'm just so thankful. Like, I'm so thankful. Because you get in that place where, like you said, it's lonely, and you feel like you maybe I shouldn't have did it that way.
Yes.
Maybe I actually, I could have been fine. We could have worked it out. Yeah. But even in that season, it was like I got to spend more time with God, and got to accept who I am in my past and where I am now. Yeah. Like, it's so many people who don't agree with, girls dating girls, guys dating guys, whatever the case may be. And I think that was a part of why I was like so quiet about it, because I just love who I love. I don't want no problems. I don't want no drama, whatever the case may be. But it's like, God he had to show me, like, he is the greatest of everyone, all creation. Yeah. And he loved me just the same. And why should I cover up or, be not tell this part of my story when it's my chapter? Yeah. It happened. And so he had to show me that, like, he loved me through it. He walked me through it. He guided me through it. He helped me through it. Got me to where I am, and still stayed faithful. Still didn't leave my side. Still did not stop talking to me. Like, I'm like, yeah. He still loved me, and I'm so thankful that he is not like anybody else on this planet. And it's like, he had to show me, like, yeah, I loved you, but clearly that's not the road that I have for you. Like, I have things better for you. I have greater things lined up for you. So even in your midst of confusion, or like, I don't even want to say confusion, even in your midst of that season, it's like, I still was there with you, but I also showed you that that's not the path that I have for you. So I grew so much in this year, and even the fact that I can even come out and just talk right now, genuinely, without thinking anything twice about it. It's like, there's nothing anybody can say to me, because my God loves me no matter what I am, been through, whatever the case may be. So it's very refreshing on the other side when you do that shadow work. It is. And when you get to where you're supposed to be. So it is.
It's just like, in the therapeutic relationship, a lot of times, and I was just telling a coworker this, I love therapy because you get to see the beauty in someone. A lot of times people don't see it for themselves, and so those moments, when they have those moments where, like, oh my gosh, and it's like, you get it, right. You got it. Right. Like, I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a consistent journey of self-discovery. Learning, you're not, it's learning yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be the same person that you were years ago.
You can't.
No.
And you get to a point where you shouldn't want to be.
No.
Like you should want to grow every opportunity you have.
Yeah.
You should want to learn yourself, and you don't want to be that person of like, I don't want to hide myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be that person that like is have a platform, having a podcast to talk about help. Not even, I don't want to say making people, because people come up and they share their story, but people are willingly telling their story, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person for my husband. I don't want to be that person for my kids. Like, I want to be that person that is present in their feelings and their emotions, and like can just help them to get to where they can be.
Yeah.
And I think from jump, I knew that in all the relationships that I've been in, and like friendships, like serious relationships, that was in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Not wanting my family to ever feel like I didn't do what I needed to do before they got here.
Yep.
And so, if you know better, you got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all part of the healing. And that's all the walks, the conversations that we had was like, so how did we get here? Where did we start? Like, what was the root? Like, how, like, what started this? And I didn't grow up with the relationship that I wanted with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that father girl dad relationship. And so there was things that like I shielded myself to being loved, because I'm looking at you like, can you love me the way you're supposed to love me?
Yeah.
I don't know, so I'm not gonna tip my toe over there. Like, let me not even get started. Actually, I'm gonna stop you right there. And that's not how I came off, but that was in my head.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, like, cause I'm like, I don't know. And with that, it was like, I felt like, not that I missed out on love, but I was so shielded. I had such a guard up to like receiving love, because I didn't want any kind of love. I didn't want to settle for just something that didn't align with how I wanted to move forward in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that played a part too, because it's like, how do you grow from here?
Mm-hmm.
How do you even know what you want to receive if you don't open up your heart to receive it? And so all of that, which is crazy. Like I said, I'm not 100% where I'm supposed to be, but like just that self-assurance, that self-realization that I got from our work, my work with God, the work by myself of just healing and answering questions that I needed, having conversations with people that I needed to have conversations with. I did that a lot this year.
Yes, you did.
I did that a lot this year.
Heart with you, heart to heart with you, heart to heart.
Like, actually have a list. And every time we met, I'm like, all right, so, I talked to that person, I talked to that person, and I realized that I got to a place that I wanted to be when I had conversations with people and I didn't get the response that I thought I should have gotten.
Yes.
I didn't get the apology that I thought I I deserved. I didn't get the love or the reassurance that I thought I needed. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
But I felt so good to get it off my chest. Yeah. And it wasn't like something that's like in my throat, because I'm just like I'm being around this person and I have something to say. And so I think I know towards the end of the year I got to a point where I'm just like accepting people for who they are. And that took a lot, and it's still blows my mind. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like,
yeah.
And I think you know, when I had that conversation with my pastors, and they said what they needed to say, and I said what I needed to say, and all from that conversation I got, even though people hurt you, that doesn't mean that they meant to hurt you.
Yep.
And you can say how you feel on the other side, and they can say how they feel on the other side, and you can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, you have to walk away with that rather than walking away with anger. Rather than walking away with just hurt. And like, it, that's easier said than done. But also, we all get to have these people coming too. You can't pick who's going to heaven with you. So, and I'm pretty sure God is not going to want you to not talk to them. So, like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Come to a common ground. Be adults. Like, have conversations. Like, just all this petty nonsense is like, heal. Just heal. It make the world so much better if people just heal and have the conversations that they need to have instead of holding it back for so long.
I think the key with that, and I remember when you said, I want to talk to these people, I challenged you to think about what is the intent or the expectation. Because if we're going to have these conversations and we're expecting something back, what does that look like if you don't?
Right.
And so I think the key and the reason why you were able to receive what you received and was able to process and move on was because you had those conversations for yourself. You didn't have it think, I'm going to get this apology from this person. Because a lot of times we don't get the apologies that we deserve.
Right.
Because for various reasons, that person might not see it for themselves. They don't know. And other things, you know, but again, and that's their stuff. But I realized it was important for you. And I think that's what helped you get through these conversations, that I'm doing this for me. Right. This is my stuff. And that's the only reason why I'm coming to you. I honestly don't care what you say. You know, it's like whatever you say is what you say. Right. But I'm coming for myself. And I think that's a key. And that's why people don't do that. Because the expectation is outward. Right. And not internal.
Right. That took me a while to get through, because a couple months ago I was still crying. Like, I was still because I'm like, bro, why don't you just like do this? Be this person, like and it's like, no, you got to do it for yourself. Everything you have to do, like, for your healing and your growth. And like I said, they have their own journey. They have their own way of processing things, and hopefully, you know, with my testimony or like what I'm saying, and like them, you know, finding someone that they can have these conversations with, they would get to that point of realizing it. But it took me a while because I'm just so, but I'm doing this, and I'm helping you, and I'm loving you, and I'm that's what I'm supposed to do. I was doing what I was supposed to do. And I can't expect people not to be on the same page as me. And so, here we are. Here we are. And I'm very thankful. I'm really thankful for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because you never was just saying stuff that I wanted to hear. It was everything that I needed to hear. It was the work that I needed to put in to actually get to this side of like acceptance and understanding. And I always say I'm such an understanding person, but there was a level of understanding that I needed to tap into that I didn't, you know, really tap into. There was a level of accepting the part that I played in the situation, even if I feel like I didn't. There was a level of just there was a level of like looking myself in the mirror and realizing that like I'm not all hyped up to be. And I can be hard to love. I can be hard to have conversations with. I can be hard to hear people out and understand. But I'm like, but what? Like me? Like me? Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I can. And I think for so long I just always saw the good intentions that I had in every relationship, like friends, family, like, conversation that I had with people, that I didn't see the other side of me. So also accepting other people also meant myself.
Yeah.
And accepting who and what and how I was and handled situations.
Yeah. And being able to receive that, because it's hard. I don't think anybody walks around like, it's hard to receive that other person's experience of you.
Yes.
But it means you're growing when you can receive it and work on it, understand it, and then also apologize. Like, I am sorry. That wasn't my intention.
Right.
But I am sorry. We get a lot of, I'm sorry, but you did it. No. So it takes a lot of work to be able to receive the feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely does. And it's so crazy because I thought I would be up here bawling by now. But I think since I cried myself to sleep.
You did? Not last night.
I sure did. Girl, cried. Oh my gosh. From cause it's like tears of joy.
Yeah.
And also tears of acceptance, tears of realization. And it's like I said, I got off the train. The boy that was supposed to help me film this, he got COVID. So I'm like, all right, after I said dag, I was like, I hope you feel better. I do really hope you feel better. Like, it's okay. But also accepting that maybe he wasn't supposed to be in this room right now. Maybe this just needed to be our time to have that conversation. I got to my car after I got off the train. My tire's on the floor. I'm driving all around Stanford in rush hour traffic, trying to put air in my tire. I finally found a gas station to fill it up. I drive home, get my mic set up, trying to figure it out. Do you know that Amazon? I wish I had a picture. I'm gonna pause on Amazon for a little bit. I needed a XLR cable with a connector for the mixer. Do you know that thing stopped right here?
Oh no!
The cord was from right here to right here. I said, and this is my first time taking out the package. I ordered it a couple of days ago. And I'm like, all right. So I get to the house. There was a guitar center, literally 3 minutes down the street. I'm like, all right, perfect. Went in there, amazed. Like, I love music. I like art, all that type of stuff. So got the cord, back to the house. Mind you, I'm riding around on a slowly. Yes. I get back to the house. It plugs into here. It's longer. It don't plug into the mixer.
Oh my god!
And I'm so glad I didn't take off my jacket. My jacket, keys in my pocket. Walked back out the house. Went there like, oh, you back so soon? I'm like, yep. I need another cord. So they're trying to figure out my mixer. They're trying to figure out how they can get the cord. Finally found the cord to get to the house. I'm trying to set this up, make sure these work. I'm trying to get this going. Okay. And it just was a longer process than what it needed to be. And so I'm at this point overwhelmed, but have my gospel music playing because I'm like, you're not about to win. You're not about to win. There's clearly a level of high intensity, I guess you could say, of this story needed to be out and you're trying to stop me so bad.
Yeah. When you're doing right. Yes.
When you're doing right. And it's so crazy because that was one of the things that I had in here. Obviously, the title of this will be Embracing My Identity. And the topic, I think I was listening to Sarah Jakes. I've been doing a lot of Sarah Jakes podcasts or sermons. They're so good. If you haven't tapped in, tap in. And it says, as you continue to trust God, then you see that God's effectiveness is my success. When God can be effective in you and through you, that's your success. That's your story right then and there. And I'm playing my music and I'm just like praying and I'm like staying in tune and I'm just like, God, you're so faithful. Like, you're so good. And like even in like this moment of overwhelming, of feeling overwhelmed, I'm just like, you're not gonna win. So
No.
like, um, I was texting my best friend earlier that day, and she was saying, like, I was saying, like, this is crazy. I'm having this conversation with my therapist. Like, she was like, girl, you don't grow being comfortable. And I was like, that's what I needed to hear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got in bed, and I'm still in this in the season, I have my Bible app programmed to send like my notification that I need to read the word like at night because the day's over. Let me just end it off there. Do you know that the passage I read? Because I'm getting to the point where I'm like, all right, God, I don't see nothing. I don't hear you. Like, and I've never been that person that hear God speak. Mm-hmm. He always shows up in people and things that I read and signs and like different things like that. And what I read was literally talking about loving God. And it was, you don't grow being comfortable. The level to which you allow God to make you uncomfortable is the level to which you allow God to bring growth in your life. Yeah. She literally just said that to me earlier. Yeah. And I just bawled. Tears flowing, music still going, curled up with my teddy bear. I'm like, I'm going to sleep. And I fell asleep listening to music. And I usually listen to like white noise or like, beach sounds, stuff like that. I fell asleep listening to the music and I'm just like, thank you for the confirmation, the reassurance, so when I got up this morning, I'm like, I already know I'm going to Pep Boys. They didn't help me. I'm going to town for a tire. Like, I'm going to get this done. Yes. And I got here just in time.
Yes, you're on time.
Just in time. I was like, because I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm like, maybe we should push it back. But I got here just in time. Mm-hmm. And that's just like how God shows up. Just in time. Like, and everything is just so full circle because it's like, even the work situation. Like, I was in college basketball for all my 20s. Like, I played college basketball. I wanted to, like, it was just, it just, my injuries led me to coaching and it just kind of flowed into it. But I would be lying to say that it was all sunshine and rainbows. Like, it was, I loved it. Like, I loved working with the young girls. I loved helping the young, the younger generation, like go through their things that I already been through to help them. Like I loved being that bigger sister to them. That was the best part of it all. But there was just something that was missing. I kept saying, I don't want to be an assistant coach. I don't want to be a head coach. Like, and I took a leap of faith and decided that I wanted to go down the media route and, and in a circumstance that I didn't agree with, a job happened right on, like I got the job right in time. Yeah. Like right in time. Mm-hmm. And it was like, there's nobody but God. Like He has showed me every time that like my timing and how I want things to happen and all the interviews that I went through and all the rejections that I got and everything that, the way, things ended and like what happened after that is like right on time. Mm-hmm. Drop of a dime. Like, it's not your time. No. It's His time. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I wasn't impatient. I wasn't like giving up. I kept, applying and trying to find things. And it's like, I am so content with life right now. Yeah. I'm so happy that I'm working with the people that I'm working with and working for the company that I'm working for. And like, everybody's like, what's next? Slow your roll.
Yeah. Let me be here.
Let me be present where I'm at right now. And, I always was like, thank you, God, for this. But like, I don't want to feel like I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Mm-hmm. Like, help me to make sure that I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. And a high school job fell into my lap. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's chatter about that, and it's like of where I should be and where I'm at right now. You have not walked my shoes. You have not been in my storm. You have not seen the things that I've been through every day. I don't care about anything that y'all have to say, because I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm doing it for and why I'm doing it in the first place. I'm happy, and I literally wrote yesterday, like, I know things will always change, so I'm going to enjoy this moment where I'm at now. Never get too high, never get too low, but I'm gonna enjoy this high right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy the season right now, because I worked hard to get here, and not just physical work, mental work, inside work, shadow work. Like I there was a lot of steps that I had to take to get to where I need to be right now, and it's like one of those things where, like, people have to understand that, like, sometimes you got to give up the things that you love to get to where you need to be, because God will give you what you want, what you're adamant about. He's gonna give it to you, because that's just the type of person that He is, to show you that you didn't want that. To show you that you didn't need that. To show you that you need Him, so He can give you what you actually need. So I don't want anything that's not for me. I don't want anything that He does not tell me that I need. Because sometimes the things that we want is so much lower than what He actually wants for us. And it's just so good to be here right now, in a season where I said in the beginning of the year, I want to heal this year. I want to grow. I want to end off my chapter in my 20s the right way, so I can step into 30 confidently. Which is crazy. I be saying, I'm like, yo, I'm really not gonna be 29 no more. Like, no, girl, you got 2 months. And not even, like, but it's just like, I needed this. I needed every hit in the face. I needed every stomp, everything. And I don't take it lightly at all. So crazy. So crazy.
How did it feel to put parameters up, those boundaries up?
That's a great question. It was hard. It was very hard, because I would say that I'm not going to talk to certain people, or I'm not going to move the way I was moving. And then when the time came, it was like, come on, Jazz, you can do that for them. You can do that for them. It's okay. Like, put your pride aside. And it wasn't even pride. It was just that feeling that I needed to help them or be there and do that, even though they were hurting me and hindering me. And it's like, I feel better now, because I don't respond to things that don't align with where I'm going and how I need to be. And if that is looked at as acting funny, then so be it. Because I know my heart, and I know where I'm going, and I can't, like, the boundaries that you set, they're for you. And I had to learn that it's like, I shouldn't feel bad for setting boundaries for myself, where it's like helping me to grow. Because it's not like I'm setting boundaries for, like, stopping my growth. Like, the boundaries that the walls that I let go is stopping me from my growth. So it was like, I think, and all in all, when I learned that everything that I'm doing is for me. And that sounds crazy to say, because why would you not do what's for you? But, like, you're just I'm just so used to serving.
Because you don't want to be called selfish.
Right.
I hate that word. You do not want to be called selfish. You don't want to look at as being mean. And it's not. Because at the end of the day, when you do cave into someone else, on the back end, you're like, oh, wish I should have. Like, you got an attitude about it. Why? And you're mad at that person? No, be mad at yourself.
Be mad at yourself.
Because you said yes when you should have said no.
Yep. And that is like, now I'm like, well, that's how you feel. Like, but this is for me. this journey is for me, because at the end of the day, if I'm not right, nothing in front of me will be. The steps that I walk won't be. And it's like, I really had to let go of not wanting to be selfish. They need me. They like, no, like, I'm all set. I'm all set. I need me. I need myself.
Yes.
I need myself. Because if I crash out, that's on me. I can't keep blaming I can't keep putting my emotions in other people's hands.
Yeah. No.
I can't keep blaming them for making me feel a certain way when I knew how they were going to make me feel. And that's that work you got to do.
Yeah.
That's that healing you got to do. That's that conversations that you have to have, because like I said, in the beginning of the year, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I just got to this point maybe a month ago. Like there was barriers of work that needed to be broken off of the rock that I was under to get to me to stand up with my chest up high.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's just that inner work that we all have to do to get to where we need to be. Like, each and every one of us have something that we need to work on. And you're lying if you say you don't.
Absolutely.
You're lying if you say you don't. So, yeah, accepting people for who they are, the boundaries that I need to set for myself, accepting who I am, looking myself in the mirror, understanding that I can't change everybody, understanding that everything happens for a reason, understanding that what's for me will always be for me, and I'll never have to second guess or think that. And like, it's just got me to where I am now. And I don't regret or feel, have no regrets. So thankful for everything that I've been through to get me to where I am now. So I was looking through my notes to see if we covered everything. I feel like we did without even picking up the phone. Do you feel like there's anything that we needed to say?
No, I think we really hit upon.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through, like I think we did. And I think obviously the last thing I had was just learning how to trust God during the waiting season. And obviously that's where I am now, and that's where I was when I was trying to find another job, and just he shows me every time. It's just better to wait. It's just better to wait, and it's like, if he did it before, he'll do it again.
And it's not to say that it's easy, because it's not. It's so uncomfortable being in this place of uncertainty, or it's really uncomfortable. But yeah, you're right. You just trust. That's where the magic happens. It does happen.
It does.
It does.
Trusting and believing. And it's he shows me every time. So why question? Why doubt?
Exactly.
And it's like, everybody know I want a family. Like, everybody know I want kids. I want to get married. I want to raise kids with my kid's father. I don't want, I don't want that, that other side to it. So it's like, why? And God knows. God knows everything that I want. And he miraculously give them to me piece by piece, the things that I can handle.
Yes.
So it's like, faith without works is dead, and if you don't put that work into it, he knows that you can't handle it right now. So why don't you get to a place where you need to be, so he can continue to bless you the way he blesses you with? Because if he would have sent me the things that I wanted, I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
No.
I know there was work that needed to be done in order for me to get to where I wanted to be for my future family. And I can say that I'm ready now,
Yeah.
but I wasn't ready before. There was a part of me that didn't accept me in my past. So how can I expect someone else to?
Yeah.
How can I expect someone to carry my load if I can't even carry it? And so it's like, we always say we want this, we want this, we want this.
Yeah.
What about the work that's needed to be done to get it?
Exactly.
So that's that. That is that. And so yeah, like I said, I'm ready. I am ready for whatever God has for me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah.
I ain't ready to go out there in the world and act a fool. I'm ready to accept whatever God has for me. Because I know that's so much greater and better than anything I could think or imagine. So, so yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe we did this, but the conversation just flowed so well.
Yes.
It happened just the way it was supposed to happen. There was a reason that we met and everything, led up to where it needed to be, and I'm thankful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was a new experience for me.
Yeah. This girl, I do not talk about what I don't willingly be like, oh hey, you want to know my story? Like,
yeah.
But also, it needed to happen. It definitely needed to happen. When I did it earlier, like when I went around the room and talked about the different stuff in my room, it was like a snippet of what was, around. It wasn't no inner work that was done yet, to get to where we're at now. So, yeah, this is the last episode of season 2. Season 3 will be coming very soon, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna enjoy my birthday.
Yes, enjoy.
I'm gonna enjoy celebrating 30. I'm going to focus on my team a little bit. Getting ready for the high school season and just focus on where God has me right now. And get some new cameras and all this stuff. Some lighting. Like, I need a team. So if y'all want to help me, with the podcast, please reach out, because I'm excited for what's next. But I can't do this by myself. I know that. Camera shutting down and figuring out the audio system and all this other type of stuff. Like, I need a team. So,
but you're doing it though.
Yeah,
you're doing it, and you did it at your own pace. There's something that was like on the side, free time,
right.
A way of honestly self-care and coping with, and it's like, and now this is beautiful.
No, you're right. You're right. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I you're absolutely right, because it was just like something I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to do a podcast. Like I was led obviously by God to do it, but it was just, I never would imagine it to get me to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And me willingly wanting to tell other people's story, not understanding how much that helped me in a sense. So you're right. Did it at my own pace. Did it with no pressure, no this, no that.
Yep.
And like now I'm like, I can actually really do this thing.
Yes.
So yeah. Thank you so much. That was a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we did, and I'm very, very thankful for you, Bianca. I keep saying that, but I am. And I hope you guys got something from it. So
yes,
make sure you tell a friend about the Sisters Podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I love you guys. I'm here for you guys. And until next episode, I'll see you later.
Take care.